Hello, I'm Bernard Hickey from interest.co.nz and welcome to 90 at 9, brought to you in association with Bank of New Zealand. This is your morning briefing where you get everything you need to know in 90 seconds at 9 o'clock in our last edition before Christmas. Starting now with news that US jobless claims last week fell by 4,000 to 364,000. This is slightly better than expected. Economists had forecast an increase to 380,000. This is a sign that the world's largest economy may not be sliding back into recession after all. The Dow rose 0.6% and UK stocks were up 1% overnight. However, third quarter US GDP growth was revised down to an annualised rate of 1.8%. And Fitch, the ratings agency, has warned the United States that it may cut its AAA credit rating. It says that America will have to find $3.5 trillion worth of budget cuts over the next few years to stabilise its debt ratio at 90% of GDP. There was one measure yesterday that said American debt had already hit 100% of GDP. Also some problems on the European front. There is news that Greek creditors, who are currently trying to negotiate a haircut on the bonds, they are rebelling against a plan to increase that haircut to 65% from 50%. And there is talk that Greece will default on its debt in March. That would obviously worsen the European financial crisis. And finally, closer to home, KordaMentha, the receivers for Crafar Farms, who are trying to sell it at the moment, have now set a deadline for the Chinese bidder Shanghai Pengxin to bid for Crafar Farms to do the deal before January 31st. Now we're expecting an Overseas Investment Office decision on Crafar Farms some stage in the future. We'll find out when. It could be as early as today or later today. There's also talk that there's a new mystery bidder with funding as yet unfound from overseas. It's not the Crafars, it's also not Michael Fay. We'll see what happens there. And just finally, I'd like to wish all of our readers at interest.co.nz a very Merry Christmas for our pre-Christmas edition of 90 at 9, brought to you in association with Bank of New Zealand. I'd also like to leave on this note of showing you a fantastic piece of video shot by Alex Tarrant not today luckily, but earlier this year, when there was snow falling in central Wellington. And we'd also like to thank Alan Bollard, the Reserve Bank Governor, for sending us this fantastic Christmas card of the Reserve Bank building in Wellington, covered with snow on this white Christmas. Merry Christmas to everyone. I'm Bernard Hickey for interest.co.nz.